Okay, so if we then, here's my FTP for my server, and I need to select the right one, sites, slider, so if we put that in there, and we'll have a look at it in the browser. Let's do slider, type index, HTML. Right, at the moment all you can see is the two buttons. The reason we can't see any of the images is because we haven't defined a height and width for them. So at the moment the slider doesn't think that there's actually anything there, although quite clearly we have that there. So what we need to do now is we need to create the CSS styles. So go File, New, and there's quite a few that we need to add in, so I'll just run through them quickly. So the first one is body. Body width, I'm just going to set this up so basically we're confining it to a space on the middle of the page that's centrally aligned, and we're going to do that by using width 800 pixels, margin 0, and then auto, and background color we'll just set to black. Background color, yes, American spellings for it, I know. Not that that matters at all. In fact, I don't really see why I need a U in it, but oh well. There we go. So then we need to do the container one. Oh yeah, for those of you using a Mac, to get the hash symbol, press and hold Alt and then the numerical 3 key, and that's how you get the hash symbol up. Because I forgot about that when I came to use my new MacBook after not using a Mac for a while. So I had to Google it quickly, but yeah. Right, we're setting the relative. There we go. Setting position to relative. The reason we're doing this is so that this gets placed centrally in the page, and then what we do, it'll also allow the two buttons that you can see over here to it'll allow those two buttons that we use for the navigation to float them over the top of the image properly and set them in the right location so that they're on the edge of the images. Margin right. What we're doing now is just pulling it in a bit, so because actually the width I'm probably going to use for the slider is 700 pixels, so we'll create a bit of space either side of the container, which will allow us to put the buttons either side of it. They're not that big, but just in case. So then we'll do width is 700 pixels, and in fact let's write that down, margin top, put another 50 in there, brilliant, and finish that one off. And then we need to do the previous ones, and its position absolute. This is because where we're going to place it on the page now is it's basically fixing it to this point on the page, but it's telling it to be 175 pixels inside this ID element, which is obviously inside container. So yeah, because otherwise it will use the global sizing of the page, and instead of the button being where it's supposed to be, it wouldn't be anywhere close. Z-index is very useful. It basically sets the sort order or display order of items or elements on the page. I'm going to copy that and undo, copy that. It's pretty much the same. Next. Because it's very useful because obviously you can set whether something's behind text, in front of it, whether these images will be on top of the images which we want them to be, things like that. And then we need to change left to right, and change out 21. This is what I've used before. Again, you can fiddle around with these things because actually I don't think the right one is quite aligned properly still. But I will. And now we'll just do the styles for slider. This won't affect the JQuery in any way. Basically, all the JQuery is using, it has to have a name that it can associate with, or a class it can associate with. I'm just going to reinforce the width at 700 pixels, and the height. This is basically what it applies to each image, and the height to 400 pixels. And I'm going to put a border, border 1 pixel, solid, hash key 3 zeros for black, short key, and that is all the CSS you need. So going to go ahead and go File, Save As. Go back into my site, and we're going to save that as what we called earlier, which was style.css.